Alrighty, good morning, Mr. Taylor. Wanted to get out here on your job site and give you an update on what we've been up to for the past couple weeks. It has been about a couple weeks since you received your last video, and this is essentially what we've been working on. Again, if you can remember from that build quality introduction, this is the stage of your home that takes quite some time to get through. A lot of stuff going on here, from the column work that you see here, all the pillars. There's a lot of work that goes into that. You got to build the pillars with the cell blocks, and then you got to fill it. And there's inspections you got to go through here. We're actually ready for another inspection today called the slab inspection. So we're going to be out here inspecting the slab just to make sure it's per our engineer details, to make sure that we are meeting local code. And then once we actually get the green light on the slab inspection today, we are ready for concrete. So while I'm out here, I wanted to talk about a few things that I'm essentially looking for, and just kind of inform you about some of the stuff going on underneath the concrete that I think is important for you guys to know as homeowners. So as you can see, you see all this plastic and welded wire mesh. You see these little plastic chairs here. There's very specific reasons that we have that we do things like this. So first of all, the plastic that you guys see here, this is essentially what is used to make sure that the moisture does not get through the concrete. Obviously, if you pour concrete over bare earth, that leads to more of a potential for moisture to get through that concrete. And again, moisture is naturally going to be in concrete anyway, but we eventually want that to be able to dissipate. We do know that it takes about a couple of years for concrete to fully cure, but typically within about 30 days, most of the moisture in the concrete is going to be able to make its way out of the concrete, and this polyvapor barrier that you see, the plastic, definitely helps us accomplish that and keep that moisture out of the concrete. Another thing that you see here is you see this welded wire mesh. The whole point of this is to essentially add tensile strength to the concrete. So what we're trying to accomplish here is we want to try to keep your concrete from cracking as much as possible. So we do know that shrinkage cracks and stress cracks are quite common in concrete, but we want to be able to reduce that as much as possible. And this welded wire mesh in the top third of your concrete, you can see that it's elevated off the dirt or the plastic with these little chairs right here. We want to make sure that's in the top third of the concrete. So this is going to significantly reduce the chance for stress cracks and shrinkage cracks. Some of the common areas where you might see some of the cracking is going to be typically around your pillars. Again, those are typically stress cracks in the concrete. Something we help do to mitigate that is we add expansion joint material. So you notice that all of these pillars have expansion joint material around them. Really what that allows for the concrete to do is to expand and contract and lead to less potential for it to want to crack. Again, you might still see it crack or separate just a little bit, but this is going to significantly reduce the chance of that happening. Or if it does decide to crack, it's going to significantly reduce the size of the crack that you might have. This is all stuff that we'll be able to talk about when we get into your build quality orientation and pre-closing orientation a little bit further on in the schedule, but definitely good stuff to know. And then the last thing I want to talk about is this right here. So essentially what you see going on right here, we also wrap your plumbing sleeves. Again, you got concrete that's going to be coming in direct contact with the plumbing, and we want to allow the concrete and we want to allow the PVC to be able to expand and contract without the potential of cracking. So we add what we call a decoupling material around those pipes to make sure they're not going to crack or lead to a less likely chance that they're going to crack. So it's all good stuff. You notice you got some pink dots and stuff out here, some X's. This is when I came out here and conducted my inspection, so looks like they ran out a little bit of their expansion joint material, so they're going to come back this morning and install the rest of the expansion joint material. Again, they're just going to be out here correcting the little deficiencies that I happen to notice on my inspection. Again, this is all prior to the municipality coming out here. They're typically looking for some different stuff than I am on my inspection per se. But just looking at this lab today, I think all the details that we have here are going to definitely meet local code. We just want to make sure that some of the finer details in relation to quality that these guys are out here doing. So they'll be out here today getting that stuff taken care of for us. So hopefully by the end of the week we'll have concrete down here. And once we get concrete, we will start up here. So the next thing that you're going to see go in is your subfloor. So there's about to be a ton of framing material that's about to get delivered out here. We are about to get very busy with framing, and again, we're going to be starting with all the subfloor. You notice all the straps up here. So you'll have a bunch of beams and I-joists running across here that those straps are going to connect to. Framing on a drive under usually takes a little bit longer than our standard slab on grade houses over there. But again, we will definitely get through it. And like I said, once we get through the concrete and the framing, everything goes pretty quick from there. So again, we appreciate all your patience through construction here. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything that we've discussed today, feel free to reach out to me, call, text, shoot me an email, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Other than that, I hope you have an excellent rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you on your next update.